How much of the country have they occupied, and what's the latest that you know?
Well, certainly they're moving very quickly. And to your point, Joe, Bashar al-Assad flew to Moscow to try to touch base with his benefactor, Vladimir Putin, who has his own war that he's prosecuting in Ukraine. So very different situation than we had in the mid-2000s or the mid-2010s, where Assad was receiving support from Russia and Iran in terms of fending off these rebel fighters. So it'll be interesting to see how all this plays out. Certainly, as you mentioned, this is a problem not just for Biden, but for incoming President-elect Donald Trump. Yep. And if you recall, in April, I think it was 2018, there was a airstrike on Syria. One of Trump's first acts as commander-in-chief, one of his most significant acts was an airstrike over the use of chemical weapons in Syria. So it's amazing to me, actually, that here, almost 8 years later, we're talking about the same same set of situations, same set of problems. And so how this plays out, I think, will be something. There's always something unexpected whenever you have world events unfolding, and this is certainly something that was not on any of our cards.
That's for sure.
Going into the
You wonder how it plays into the Tulsi Gabbard confirmation hearings as well, should they emerge. Donald Trump taking to social media again today to weigh in on the situation in Gaza. Demanding the release of hostages by the time he takes office, is sworn into office January 20, or they'll be held to pay. Who would pay? Who is he talking about?
Very unclear at this point, Joe, obviously. You know, President-elect Trump has made many pronouncements on social media over the last several days, including tariffs on Canada and Mexico. He's now talking about the hostage situation in Gaza with regard to Israeli hostages being held there. You know, if you talk to folks around the president-elect, people who are supporting him, people who he has nominated for key positions like National Security Advisor, they talk about him bringing back deterrence to the office. Whether that means employing U.S. troops or U.S. firepower to somehow bring this situation to a close with regard to the hostages or not, you know, that's unclear. It would be out of character sort of with the notion that he is trying to bring American troops home. He wants to reduce the number of involvement, of places where we're involved overseas. But it doesn't rule out an airstrike. It doesn't rule out perhaps a special operations strike that could be carried out discreetly in the future. Certainly, he did a drone strike against Qasem Soleimani, who was the Iranian general. So there are all those cards on the table, but we don't have many details at this point about what exactly he means.